Okay, there we go. All right, now we're recording. So taking this sidebar, and we're going, let me make sure you guys understand what the sidebar is. So it's actually this button too. So taking this entire piece, which is a navigation sidebar, and we're going to lump it in together using this other template from the Bootstrap page. So this is under examples, and this is just a cover page. So what the intent is to have this be this white area here, and also then put in a background picture into this section, so that our, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I've been at his page so many times recently, but of course I might not have him on there. No, I don't. All right, let me go over to GitHub. So if you remember the page, the web pages that we looked at the other day, it's this one here. So that we come up with something like this in the end. And this will be our new homepage. So what then that will do is, so you can either leave it as CV or your resume. So when you click on this link, it'll come to the resume page that we built 2 weeks ago. So we'll expand on our GitHub pages and just build out further and further from there. And then a portfolio page afterwards, and we might get into that. We may not today. We'll find out. All right. So I guess I shouldn't have stopped sharing. Share again. Too quick to stop. All right. So I sent out those 3 links in chat. The first one. So we're going to use the FontAwesome. Now we use the FontAwesome on the resume page, but we used the old version 4.7, and 5 has a ton more stuff, but there is no CDN. So we're going to have to manually download and upload the stuff to our site, which isn't a big deal. So if you just download here, and we'll take out the files that we need. So go ahead, download on this site. And then on this page here, we're going to take number 9, and you just click download and it'll start to download.
On the web or on the desktop?
You can, the desktop's probably easier for you right now because we're just going to drag stuff out of the folder to put it into your file. So
on the desktop then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last one is over here on the Bootstrap and download examples. And that'll open up a zip file with all of these in there, everything that's on this page. But we're just going to use the cover. Unless you like something else, but I don't. The other stuff gets a little bit too much for just a plain simple cover page.
Oh my gosh. I don't have 2 screens, so I couldn't look at yours. How did you get to the Bootstrap one?
So that was on the link. So it's under examples.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's just download examples.
Oh, that's all of them. Okay, now I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, it downloads the entire, it's a zip file. It's not that big, but.
I don't know what happened to my GitHub page. I thought it was going to work, and it's not. But I still have the local repo.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. because we're going to add to that. So
Okay. Why is it not working anymore? Settings.
stop the share. Get to my files so we know what we're going to take. Awesome. I don't know what this is. Oh, sidebar. Okay. And now where's my Bootstrap stuff? Examples. All right, so I'm going to start off. Let me share again. I'm just going to be in my file. Well, let me do desktop. All right, so this is my downloads folder over on this side, and this is my local repository for my GitHub pages. All right, so first thing I'm going to go is into the FontAwesome page. And there's a couple things that we're going to need to drag out of here. So the first one is in the CSS folder. So we're going to take the all min CSS file, just copy that over. I'm going to put that in our CSS file, our folder over here. And then the other thing we're going to need is this folder that says web fonts, which is the last one. We need that whole folder. So we're going to copy that. And in our assets folder, we'll dump our web fonts. Okay. So what this is going now, so what we started to do is we started to locally load our new and improved FontAwesome icons, the 5.13.0 version instead of the 4.7. All right, from there, I'm going to go into the Bootstrap 4.5.0 examples, and we're going to go and find cover. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this. Just rename that as cover HTML so I know, because only one of these two is going to be, or one of our files is going to be indexed. All right, so I'm going to take this, both of these, the CSS and the cover, and we're going to take these and we're going to put them into the main folder. All right. So if you have your index file from from a couple days ago, where your resume is, go ahead and rename it to resume from index.
I got it. I just have a few things to catch up. So CSS from FontAwesome, and then cover
Web
example.
fonts and the web fonts. Right?
Yeah, and the web font.
You okay, Ray?
No, I'm trying to download all this stuff right now.
Okay. Yeah. Just so you can go at your speed. I don't have to go fast.
So I have.
So it's.
Oh, hold on a second. So I renamed. I'm trying to do this in order. So I have the Bootstrap examples right now. You said cover, and to move the HTML and .css into the assets folder.
No, to the main folder.
Into the. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, it's because it's Mac. I couldn't tell what.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. So let's just don't do that. What did I just do?
So just make sure you rename the index HTML to cover or something.
Yeah. Whoops, I messed it up.
It's all right. I didn't copy and paste it, so.
I just didn't copy it right.
You all right, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm just trying to organize everything because I just had a few unexpected things go on with the GitHub as well.
Gotcha.
So web fonts and CSS go in the main, like the first folder of the repository, right?
In the assets folder.
And the assets, okay.
So the CSS all or all.min.css, which is just the all CSS folder or file crunched together instead of all spaced out. So I'll show you.
So I have all.min.css, Bootstrap, and it goes all the way down to v4 shims. Oh, see, it combined it.
Awesome.
What combined?
I moved my CSS from web fonts from FontAwesome to assets, and it combined with whatever was there before. Let me see, Control Z. Oh, cool, Control Z worked. Okay.
Oh, did you already have one in there that was already called that?
Yeah, it was bootstrap.css in assets.
Oh.
Do I need to use my email to get my first kit for the FontAwesome?
No, you shouldn't have to. It's free.
Oh, because that's the link that it gives me. Oh, is it the download button?
Yep.
Ah, yes, that would make sense.
It is the download button.
Does it do it automatically?
Yes. Right here.
Can I see your folder? It's just kind of tough because trying to get everything together. Can I see your folder? I just want to see the way you did it. Okay. Oh, cool. All right. Assets, CSS. And you only did all.min, right?
Yes.
Okay. And web font is also in assets, I guess.
Yes, in the folder, but not in the CSS folder. It's by itself.
What?
And cover.css, where'd you get that one?
That's from the Bootstrap examples.
Okay.
That's not working.
So in the Bootstrap examples folder.
Yeah, I got it. Let me just do it because it's a lot to do at once. I got to remember.
That's fine.
Okay.
Here's my Bootstrap examples. Did it go up the top? Yes, up to the top. So in cover.
And all.min or all.css?
All.min is going to make it a little bit faster. It's the same stuff, but
Okay.
the all.css is going to look like the CSS file that we built the other day. It's going to be all separated by lines. The
Which one
min
do
is
you
all in one line.
Which one do you use?
I'm using the min because it's quicker.
Okay, cool.
It's minimized. That's all. So in the cover folder, Jesse, you'll see they have the cover CSS already named this way and then an index file.
Okay.
So rename that index file to cover.html
Mhm.
and drag it over or copy it over into your repository.
What do we call the index HTML we had before?
That's your resume one, right?
Yeah.
Just change it to resume.
Oh, okay. I have another index one. I don't know why. I'll just put that aside.
Okay. I have a question. So the cover and index. Oh wait, hold on. Whoops, did I do it wrong as well? No, I did. So the two covers are just supposed to be in the folder, the username.github.io, which is just in the folder, right?
Yep.
And then in the assets, do you want to? Is it the images, JS, and web fonts?
Well, all you need to drag in is web fonts.
Okay, web fonts from
And
FontAwesome.
in the all CSS or the all.min.css. The min is minimized and it's faster, so it's better to grab the min.
Okay, so copy the web fonts, paste, and then
That's in the CSS folder.
this, and you said it was all.min. Which one is the all.min? That sidebar, right?
No,
No. Uh-oh.
this is in the FontAwesome.
Oh, still okay. All.min.
Right here.
Okay, and that's in the CSS.
Yeah, copy that over here.
Okay, so we should have that all.min, the web fonts folder, and then the cover HTML and cover CSS.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't do a resume, or I didn't do
That's fine.
that class yesterday, but
But
I was working on it today.
Yeah, but it's named index, right?
It's what?
The HTML file for it is called index, right?
No.
What's it called?
Wait, what are you asking? Hold on, say again.
In your repository right now, where you're putting all the new files,
Yes.
you have a file that says index.html.
Yes.
Rename that index to resume.html.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this is the one I was working with earlier today.
Yes, that's the resume, right?
Okay. Oh, I guess, yeah, I guess so. I haven't gone through the whole video yet. I'm only 44 minutes in. It was the first workshop.
Yeah, resume.
Okay. Let me see, make sure it doesn't kill me when I reopen it. Yep. All right, cool. Still nothing in it. I have a lot to push, apparently.
Yeah, that's happening. We're pushing this taking forever.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, good.
We're gonna have to push right away, anyways. All right. So then the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna find the 9 folder, sidebar 9. And there's just a couple things we have to take out of here. So we'll take this CSS that's in the CSS folder. Let's just name that sidebar for now. Let's leave this as index. And then the other thing we need is this main file, main.js. That'll go into your file right here, into the JS file in the assets.
Okay.
Huh.
Where did you get main jQuery min and popper.js?
Oh, we're not going to deal with those. We're going to
Okay.
do the CDN for those. And then finally take the index over, drop it on in. Oops.
Oh, sidebar.
And then just let's grab these two images. Put them in your images folder. Just so you have some images and we know what we're looking at. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. The images are in
The images folder.
Where do
they go?
They go in the images folder in the assets.
I do not have an images folder in the assets.
Okay, go ahead and create one.
Okay.
Where did you get sidebar 09 from?
From the download from the sidebar 09 link.
That's why I was confused because.
Okay.
So that's images. And then you said.
So that's the second, it's the colorlib.com link, Jesse.
Yeah, I got it now. I was
Okay.
wondering what it's like. Okay.
And then scroll down to the 9th one. So. Yes, right.
What were the 3 things you just told us to put in that were not the images? You said the index all from sidebar, right? So
Yeah.
the index from just the straight up sidebar -09, right?
Yes, the images. Then we took, so in the CSS folder for theirs, this was called style.
Style.css, okay.
No, I didn't want to open it.
Copy, and that goes in to our CSS.
Yes, but well, no, it's not going to go into your CSS. Did I put it in the CSS? No, we want to keep that in the main one, in the main.
What? Okay.
So did I drag it over? I guess I didn't even drag it over. I just.
No, you did. It's called. Oh no, wait.
Yeah, I need double monitors, man. I have to go back and forth. It's like style.
I'm just going to put this back as style. And then the other thing is in this JS file, we're going to take the main JS file. We're going to put that into our assets.js folder.
Okay, so I don't have a JS folder. I make that in assets. Leo?
If you don't have the Bootstrap, that's fine. We're not using it anyways. I'm just going to delete it anyhow.
No, but the JS, where does that folder go?
In assets.
Okay. New folder. JS. Should there be anything else in JS apart from what we're pasting in? The CSS? Or wait, what did you tell us to put in there? The main. Whoops.
Main.js.
Okay, and then the style sheet from the sidebar goes just anywhere or in the main?
Yeah, just rename it sidebar and stick it in there. Otherwise,
okay, so
you'll have a conflict of names.
So we have 3 CSSs in here.
Yes.
Okay, and then you said an assets.js is the main JS.
And we're going to take this index.html as our home page.
Cool. Now I'm getting more caught up. And then images, we create an image and that's it.
If you don't have an image folder already, yes, just drag those 2 in there. Or you could take the whole folder, really.
Okay. Oh, wait, you said that we need to take did you say we needed to take the index from sidebar?
Yes, the index.html. That's the home page.
Oh, okay.
Index is always the home page.
And then the resume is just what we did, or what you did last
Yeah,
time.
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm getting more and more caught up. All right, time to push. Could be all. Save.
Okay. Now, are all these like little things, are these just like available on these sites at any point? So if I want to like make my own website, I can just pull any other little
Yeah,
layouts?
there's stuff all over the place.
Okay.
It's just like Java. You don't know how to do it, someone already did it for you.
Google it. Okay.
It's like half the programmers' challenge is being able to Google stuff. And I think 2 things: you need to be able to find stuff using Google, because sometimes that's not even that. Sometimes it's not even easy to do that when you're looking for specific stuff. And then number 2 is being able to find the stuff, and then being able to take the stuff that you found and be able to put it into your project correctly. All right, so you guys got it all? Everything's uploaded?
I hope so.
Okay.
I think we're caught up. Just,
All right, I'm going to try to do a split screen here. Let's see if it'll work. Kind of a split screen anyways. We're going to open up the index HTML. All right. So that's my file, and here's my VS Code side by side. And as you can see, this doesn't look anything like it did when we downloaded it, right? And you know why that is?
CSS.
And there's another thing too, then the JS. 2 things.
So
So the CSS is no longer linked to where we need it to be linked, because we moved stuff around, we rename stuff. So now we have to start putting everything back together so that we can make it work real quick. So we'll do that real quick here. So we already know that, so this is our original style sheet, and we renamed this sidebar, and we kept it above. So sidebar CSS. Hopefully, if I refresh here, I don't really get any big change, but that's fine. No biggie for me. And then we're going to go over to Git Bootstrap, and we're going to copy a couple things. We're going to go down to the CDN here. This is on the Bootstrap homepage, just getbootstrap.com. We're going to take this first link. We're going to copy it, and this is going to come up here. I'm going to put this on the top. Then we're also going to change this FontAwesome link, and we're going to call this dot. You always have to have the dot, right, Jesse? Assets. CSS. All in. All right. And then we're going to scroll down the bottom, and down here we have our Bootstrap JS links. So these are also over here. So under links, we're going to take these 3 script tags, copy those, and we're going to take these 3. We're going to just paste these right in.
Okay, I'm getting a little behind here.
That's fine.
But I just got a message saying that someone in the ANMSA community has tested positive for COVID.
Oh,
I don't know what that means, but I got it. I think this is like their emergency notification.
oh.
The SAPD, the ANM SAPD. I guess I signed up for that.
All
It kind of distracted me.
right, so we're using the content delivery system network for Bootstrap. So because Bootstrap is a worldwide framework, I see Jesse bumped
Oh,
off.
Jesse left. Yeah, I don't know why. He got to go. Bootstrap. I'm like super behind right now. Because you mentioned, because I was trying to look at my code because I looked at the index and I realized that it was not what I had used before, but that's because that was the resume. I was looking at the wrong thing because you told us to bring the index from the sidebar. I called it index. I should have called it sidebar index.
No,
that's just because it's the
index.
main. Oh, because I'm trying to label all this stuff so I know like if I want to come back and I want to like build something. But it has to be index. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I just got confused because like this I hadn't seen this before until now.
That's fine. That's
okay.
fine.
So you mentioned that we need to get from Bootstrap. You mentioned I have way too many tabs open too. You mentioned that we need the Bootstrap website.
Bootstrap.com.
Get Bootstrap.com.
And we're at the home page.
At the home page, and then you want these bottom three.
Well, let's do the first one first.
Okay, the link.
Okay, and that link is going to come. I pasted it right here in line number 7.
Did you replace? Oh, did you in this gap, the small little gap that's here?
Yep.
Okay, and
I
then
didn't replace anything.
Okay, and that's super long.
That's
all right.
Fine.
And then the other 3 you paste at the bottom.
Before we get
others.
there, did you change the last link here to sidebar.css?
The second one, CSS. Oh no, wait, what? Style sheet. No, I did not. Okay, you just use sidebar.css. Mine is css/style.css.
Yes.
So is that that first CSS/ that's the folder name, right?
Yes, and it's not in the folder name. It's not in a folder. It's right out in the middle. So you don't need a folder.
It is.
So if you start typing sidebar CSS, it's going to pop up in your Visual Studio Code menu.
Hold on a second. I have 3 CSSs
in
the main. Which one was it?
Sidebar. Hopefully you named it sidebar.
Okay, so I did. So I have the cover CSS, the side CSS, and then style, and that's the original one from the original, right? Okay, so the side one. Okay.
Sidebar. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So
I tried to label them as best as I could. I didn't know how side. Yeah. Okay. It pops up. Okay.
Okay. So it should go right in sidebar. Nothing in front of it.
Nothing behind it. Yeah.
In your Visual Studio Code should have seen that.
Yeah.
All right. Now the one above is a content delivery system link for FontAwesome, but FontAwesome 4.7. We're using 5.13. So we have to use the CSS file that we downloaded. So to get that, we know it's in our assets folder. But depending on how the systems work, sometimes it's hard to find exactly where the assets folder is. So we're going to put a dot in front, and then the backslash, and then you see assets comes up.
Okay.
So you can just click on assets.
Mm-hmm.
It's in CSS,
mm-hmm.
and it's the only one in there, so it's all min CSS. Or all.css, whichever one you copied over.
All.min.css.
Okay. So now that should be linked.
Okay. Huh.
All right. So those are we actually have 4 sheets that we're working with: the Bootstrap, the FontAwesome, the sidebar that we originally came with the project, and then there's also one for this specific font series Poppins that Google that they're linked to Google on.
Family equals Poppins.
Yeah, it's a font family.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to go to the bottom.
Okay.
So on the bottom of the page, we have 4 scripts.
Mm.
All right, the first 3 scripts should be in series. It should be jQuery, Popper, and Bootstrap. Those were what was locally held in that folder. We're going to use content delivery network again. So we're going to take those 3 scripts that were under the link on the Bootstrap homepage. We're going to copy these in and paste them into this area.
Oh, replace those 3. Okay.
All right, so we're still going to have the same information, but it's going to get there a little bit quicker than because if we have it on our website, it's going to go to our server, and our server is going to use time and space versus just going out to the web and having the cloud do it for us.
Okay, so this is like the website link.
Yeah, this is the cloud.
Okay.
This is the cloud.
Okay, now what does integrity mean? That's just like, is that their security? Like to allow people to use it like whenever?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the hash. Yeah.
Okay. And these are just the links to their websites. Okay, cool.
So on the 4th one, we moved
that main.
Yeah, we moved that. So it's the same place where the CSS folders were. So we're going to start again with a dot. And here's our assets folder.
Dot. Ooh, I don't have an assets folder in here.
You should have an assets folder. No?
You said dot, right? Oh wait, let me get rid of all of it first.
Yeah.
Dot.
Backslash.
Oh, dot backslash. Oh, there we go. Okay. The backslash.
Not CSS, but
JSS or JS. And then sidebar underscore main, or that's what I labeled it.
So now if we go up to file and save all, I always just save all.
File.
I never know when I have stuff open in other pages.
Save all.
And look at that. We have some stuff that actually works now. Probably small because if I open it up, there's my sidebar.
Recrit. Nope. All I see is the text I made earlier. Oh, maybe I need to push it, right? Do I need to commit and push first?
Nope.
Okay, well, then it did not work.
Yeah, don't worry about, not the GitHub link. Just open up the index file locally. So in the local repository,
Recrit.
just double click on the index
On
file.
index.
Locally.
Okay. Okay. And this weird little square that makes no sense is little.
Yeah, and that's because it's named something different. You can see the other ones all work correctly, but I haven't been able to figure out what this is supposed to be up here. All right, so
I think it's supposed to be an arrow.
Yes, it's supposed to be a
triangle,
right angle, which is like 105, but I can't get it. We'll see if we can't fix it. It's in the CSS. So
downloads.
Right.
What kind of download?
There's 2 things we're still missing here.
Okay.
And those are the images.
Okay. Yeah.
So before we go, let's just hook up our images so that we have those correct.
So index.
So on line 23.
23. The image, background image.
Yeah, so 21 and 23, we have 2. So we're going to do the same thing we did before.
21 and 23, okay.
Assets. Save. Hopefully when I open up, there we go.
Images / what?
It's the name that's already there. So just put the assets, the dot assets in front.
Well, no, it doesn't automatically pop up for me. It's not. It just says I have to manually type it out because I do dots / or dot / assets. I have to manually type that out.
Yeah,
and
just
then / images.
The images should have already been there. Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I just deleted whatever was there. Because I didn't do it last time and I messed it up. So I was like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
well, I guess I'll just remove
Yeah.
it entirely. And then we use the mount.
Because this is it. Because this is in. They put it in as CSS. That's why it's not going to show up the way it does. If this was just a regular image embedded into the HTML, it would do it like you would expect it to do it.
/assets images, and then whoever the strange woman is. Apparently her name is Logo. All right, those are both the images. And then what, like save all?
Yep, save all.
And then
You
it
can
should
refresh
be
the page and you should get the mountains and Catriona Henderson.
I do not. Hold on a second.
Did you put the dot in front of the assets?
I did /assets.
Okay.
Here, let me try again. Index. Oh, okay, so I have her, but not.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, I see. Oh, no, I thought it was supposed to change the background. Okay, no, it changed only the top left.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I swapped them, so the background is her, and the small
Okay.
circle is the mountain.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it like that.
It doesn't matter.
It looks great like that. It looks so stupid. Like it's perfectly. The mountains are perfectly taking up the space of her face. Okay, it's fine.
All right. So I'll do this because I want to keep this open. All right. So there's a couple of things that we're going to change out through here. All right. And I'm going to let me see if I can get that. History, because I just recently closed him. Do I have it up here? There we go. Take his, and put it on my other page. Oops. Nope. How many different ones do I have open? Oh, there it is. All right, we don't need the Bootstrap right now, so we're going to, just so that we can kind of follow along and do some stuff with his, okay? Some of the stuff is we're gonna have to add on some styling for it to work correctly, but that's okay, we'll go with it.
What is
now.
his? What does that URL say? It's
Oh, it's jtom.me.
jtom.
Yeah, as in Tom and Jerry.
Okay, here we go. Interesting person.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got tech talks. Huh.
Yeah, he's got some stuff going on in there. All right, so first thing we're going to do is in and around line 24 here, we have that lady's name.
That should not be that name.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put in Ray Crittenton. And then do a hard return, and then we're going to put an H, type H4 and tab.
Hard return? Oh.
Sorry,
Oops.
enter.
Oh, no, hold on a second.
Enter.
Yeah, okay.
Windows user.
H4.
So if you just type H4 and then tab, it'll fill out
tab.
It'll fill out the entire tag for you.
It is not doing that. H4 tab. No, it doesn't complete it.
Okay, let's go. Let's
there.
delete
Okay.
that line.
I close it and it fixes.
Yeah, let's delete the line.
Okay.
Do your enter.
Mm-hmm.
Type H4 and that's it.
Oh, just H4. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, and so then we'll do. We'll start with like a software engineer right there. How's that sound?
Sure.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, for now, I think leaving home here is good for us. All right, but I want to change what we have here, download really doesn't work for us. And we do not need to have the notification in our icon. So what we're going to do in line 33 is first we'll take off the notification, and then we will take off all of small, that whole small tag. So now it should just be download and download. So let's go and we'll change portfolio in there. And I think
do we still leave the class as download?
we're going to change that. So let's go over to our FontAwesome because we want to find something that, oops, I didn't want it to open up that way. So in our FontAwesome in the upper left, we can search icons. So let's just type, I know we're not going to get anything that says portfolio, but let's see what their suggestions are. Found nothing, okay.
How about like a folder?
Or folder, yeah, we could do folder maybe. And I would say probably folders.
Like
or
a download symbol folder? Or because
What's
this
that?
is what is the portfolio opening up to?
Yeah, well, I would like either, yeah, the portfolio open or the double folders maybe. But I think maybe the double folders might work better. Maybe the folder open. I don't know. Choose whichever one you think you like better.
Couldn't you isn't there when you hover over it, it would change the icon, or no? That's not like a real.
It is, but we're not, but we have to do that ourselves.
Okay.
So I'm going to do file open or folder open. So download. Open.
Where's how do you download it? Just click it?
No, you don't have to download it all. It's already in our CSS in our web. It's already downloaded in your project.
Oh.
So all you have to do is where it said downloads on line 33. If you start typing folder, it's already going to come up. And we're just doing folder open. Did that work for you? No.
Where is that? Fa-fa-folder. No. Fa-fa-folder does not pop up anything.
Okay. So
I can type it manually though, but it doesn't appear.
So when you have this bar
Fa-fa-dash.
type.
I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You have 6 options?
Yeah.
Okay. So just go start typing folder.
Yeah, you only get to F and then it disappears everything.
Okay. But if you do folder open, it exists. Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully you loaded everything correctly. We'll find out when we save and when we view. So after that, we'll just do save all. And let's go and refresh over here.
So we name it folder-open.
Yeah.
And then save all. Yes.
Okay, good.
Why does it not appear? That was my question.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Sometimes IDEs work in mysterious ways, and sometimes because you've typed it before, it's already there. I don't know.
I never typed it before, but okay.
You'll notice too that in the picture stuff here, you should have software engineer. It should be black. And it should be bigger than the
Yeah.
white one, and that's because the white one is, even though it's an H3, it is styled to be that particular color and that particular size in that particular font. This, when we just did the H4, that is because it's not already styled for something as H4, it's going to be the default H4 for the browser.
Mhm.
So that's why it's black, and that's why it looks like that.
So can we manually make our own style, or no? Is
Yeah,
that
and
something we
we'll do
download?
that in a bit.
Okay.
But just so you understand what's
Mm.
going on so far.
Okay.
All right, so we have portfolio. What else do we have under here? My offer. So I thought this page was kind of interesting, just because hey, these are the things that I am able to do, and it has kind of some of the number of time projects he's kind of done. So it's kind of like a little bit more. It's almost like a cover letter information that he has in here. So it's a little bit more in depth. So I just thought it was a neat page, so I included it in there. But I don't really know what to. I don't remember what I did for the icons.
I don't think it really matters, does it? Just pick whatever you think matches.
Monster truck comes up.
Yeah, pick a monster truck.
It's just something. If you figure out something that kind of looks.
I don't know. I like that monster truck.
I think files. That's not.
Maybe an abacus. You're talking about offer. But if like a paper, because the offer is like his offer is like his or like what he's can bring, right?
Yeah.
Maybe like a sheet of paper.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at.
I don't know. None of these are
Like
good.
a
These are just toilet
file,
paper.
like a file maybe, or
How like sticky note maybe, or a scroll, or a newspaper. A newspaper could work
a newspaper.
because it looks like a sort of like a resume just layout. Some of them do. Like a little picture and then a few lines.
Right. Yeah. What's the difference between these two?
Do these actually come out as like dark and highlighted, or like dark and light?
Yes.
Oh.
So that's why there's two of them. So.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
This one is newspaper version 5.0.
I want this one.
And this one's with an S. Okay. That's with the S. Oh, yeah, it definitely follows. Oh, it messed up on me here. It did everything else. All right. Oop.
There's a sign. They have a sign out and support button. I presume we're supposed to change those as well. because like this is our own website, so surely we don't have support or
Yeah.
sign
Oh
up.
yeah. Yeah. So what else does he have on there? On
Contact me.
So
That could be like at the bottom, maybe.
yeah, we could do that as because
Guess it
we're not gonna have a
depends.
sign out either. So
Yeah. So contact
actually,
me.
let's put it that in support
Okay.
because we're gonna do the those links again. So let's contact. We'll go my resume, and then we'll do a blog page too. Oh, I know there's like contact card stuff. Or ID card, maybe I think it's called. Oh, ID card. Oh, blog is not it. I know there's a blog one. I don't remember what it's called. No, it's just blog. Oops. All right. Yours looks something like that.
Sorry, I was muted. What about the sign out, the last one?
So
You just left it empty.
So I think this is where we can put our group of links. So we're gonna have to change this a little bit up. So we're gonna take out. We'll take this out right now, and the closing tag of span. Or actually, let's undo that. Let's see if we can't just do it this way. All right, so I think email is the first one. I think that's what it's called. We'll find out quick enough. Nope.
Wouldn't that be in contact me though?
Well, just for those entire things. Oh, it's not email, it's envelope. Yep. All right, so we have envelope. All right, so now what we're going to do is we'll take this entire line, we'll copy it right underneath in the same list item tags. So I'm just going to see if this works the way I anticipate it to work. No, it does not.
Well, what do you mean?
So when in the same list item,
Yeah.
it came in 2 different lines. So it did not work the way I anticipated it working.
Oh. Oh yeah, they're on the very far left.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but they should be next to each other, but they're
Yeah,
not.
if you put your mouse if you put your mouse between it, that's the link. It highlights the area between the two.
I'm going to change span to I, which is the general tag that we use for FontAwesome, and see if that changes it instead of being span. Nope. I'm going to put a span here. Wrap these two in span, maybe? Nope. I'm going to get rid of the links right now. I'm going to get rid of this. Is a class attribute for Bootstrap, which is margin right 3%. So I'm just going to get rid of that and see if that changes anything too. Oh, there we go. There's those margin rights. All right. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do a tab. I'm going to take my I. I'm going to drag that back inside the A. I'm going to save and make sure that everything stays exactly the same it was. No. So those A tags are one of my problems.
Are you trying to make them like the same, occupy the same space? So like there's not that, like if you go through, you know how you see
Correct.
like these little white lines between each tab, you want it to be right on top of the other with no separation?
Yeah.
So like one big old button with 2 lines in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, let's see if we can get to, so like right here, so if we change fab, Facebook, it's a business. Oh, it's Facebook something because it's slightly different, I think. Oh, sorry. Fab, FA, Facebook. Supposed to have these memorized, right?
Yeah.
So Facebook, we go, actually, let's change that second one probably since it's do LinkedIn. Oh,
This does not look right.
just didn't finish.
I put them on the same line, email and email.
We'll do GitHub. Oh. We'll put Facebook and Twitter. We'll see what happens if we do that too. I think it's because we need to change this probably to inline as I'm thinking about it, because it's probably stacked.
Or aren't they occupying the same link?
They are, but we have other CSS that, oh, it's not, sorry, class, we want a style. It's just temporary. We're going to do an inline CSS. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. Display, inline, oh, come on. Maybe we put that one in above. But we still need to put our links in there. So put these one in there and make sure that everything stays the way it's supposed to if we change it to inline. No. Trouble with working with someone else's CSS. All right. Either way, we'll leave it like this for now. We know we're going to have to go back and put in our links. But
How
that's,
do you make them all interactable? Like, you know how like you can hover over these categories and it's highlighted in blue?
Yep. We don't have anything in here yet because we're changed everything up a little bit. So
Okay.
let's put in, we're going to put in one more and we might have to inline. But, wrap this in like a P and do it capitalized. So it kind of matches what we have over here. But we'll style that all up as we get there. So everything making sense so far?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna go, let's go to our file folder in here, and we're gonna open up cover HTML in another tab here. All right. There's a couple of things I want to grab out of here right off, and that's going to be lines 6 and 7, these two meta tags, because we don't have them in our main folder or in our main file. And that's going to be our description and our author. So let's take those, copy them, and we'll put them after the meta name. So, yes.
Can you go back to what file you're talking about? Cover.html.
Yep.
Cover.html. I don't have anything in that folder. Oh, never mind. I'm dumb. I scroll up. Okay, I see what you mean.
So those two lines.
The last.
And then we'll paste them in here.
Wait, the last two lines or the middle two?
The middle two says description and author.
Description and author. Got it.
All right, so we're going to get rid of all of the authors that are in there, and you can type in Ray Crittenden in there.
And these two go after the first two. Show up.
And so, oops, and then we're going to also, in the title up there, it says sidebar 9. Go ahead and just throw your name in there. So this is going to be our personal website. So description, I just said my personal website for now. So what title, there's always a title tag for every web page, period. Has to be. And that's because if you look over here right now in the tab, you see where it says sidebar 09.
Mhm.
I'm going to file, oops, sorry, code, save all, and I'm going to refresh and see now it's Leonard Box because I changed the title of my page. So every
Yeah.
time you see a name in a tab, it's actually the name of the web page that you're on. And it's the title. It's actually there. All right. We do not have a favicon right now, but we can put one in it later. So sometimes on some pages, you'll see like a little, like this here, this little icon. So it's called a favicon, and we can actually add that into our head section. So you actually have an icon that shows up on all of the web browsers as well.
Okay. Like how that little Facebook symbol.
Yep, exactly
All
like
right.
that. And we'll get to that later. All right, so we're going to do two things. So author is not that big of a deal, but so this meta tag here, and I'm going to go and I'm going to enter another one here. And it doesn't have a closing tag. Oop. So I don't have anything in here now, but so between the description, so when you Google a page or Google something, say you're, like Google Facebook or you Google Geeks for Geeks or whatever, or Google whatever search you're performing. You have the title page, which comes from the head here, and also usually depicts the depiction, or the description that's also found in this head tag. All right. So between the description and then the one I just typed in keywords, that is used by web developers for what they call search engine optimization. And you may see it abbreviated as SEO. And that is how Google finds your page. It categorizes your page and then loads your page into the search results. So right now we don't have any keywords. So Google is not really going to is not going to be able to categorize our web page as being anything because there's no keywords. But if we were to start typing in like software engineer, whatever keywords that we wanted to have on there, when people searched software engineer, somewhere within Google results will be. Chances are we're going to be on page, 570 or something because we have a brand new website and it's not going to have any traffic. So when your page gets more traffic, or you decide to promote it by paying Google money and being in one of those top windows, then your page gets further up. So as more people visit your page or your website, that's how your Google results are supposed to organically grow. So unless, like, how you were trying to find the TAMUSA ACM page on LinkedIn and their search message, it's kind of the same thing here. yes, it exists, but you may have to really dig deep to find it because it's not going to necessarily pop up real quick. All right, so it's a little bit of SEO. So what else? All right, so in cover, go back to cover. So we want to steal a couple of things from cover here. All right, we do not need, we're not looking for the header. But what we're looking for is this main tag right here. So this stuff here is what we're looking for. So we're going to take from 48 to 54. I'm going to copy this out. I'm going to go back over here to the index. All right. And we're going to find down here on 64 where it says page content and all of that gobbledygook here.
Mhm.
All right. We're going to, for now, we're going to leave this div tag here because I'm not sure what that does for us overall in terms of the CSS. We're going to get rid of the two paragraph tags and the H2 tag, and then we'll paste in that main for now. So let's just save, go over here and see what happens. Okay, so now we have the content at least over here. We don't have, it's not styled the way.
It's not Latin.
Yeah, because all the style is in the cover CSS file. So let's go, we'll open that one. All right, and so what we're trying to find in here is we probably want to try to find something that says inner cover. Inner or cover. So let's, no, CSS. So we're just going to go Control F, inner. Nope.
Dot cover is at line 92.
Okay.
Cover dot b button dash LG.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's it though.
We're looking for, yeah, we do want these. Let's go ahead. We'll copy these over. And now we're going to go into, right now we'll go into sidebar CSS because that's what's linked. All right, and we're already going to delete a lot of stuff out of here because this is also the Bootstrap.
Oh wow,
CSS. So that's why
there is a lot.
So let's try to find the beginning of where this actually starts. Some button, some body. I think this is where it starts. So line 8,035. We can go ahead and.
Oh, 8,035.
Yeah, 8,135, I think, somewhere in there. It says
Oh,
body.
8,100. 8,135.
Does it say? Does it have a body?
Yeah, it says body. So everything above body.
Everything above that can be deleted. So we already linked all of this stuff with the CDN, but they embedded it in their own CSS file, so we don't need any of all this stuff. And just in case, let's go. We'll save. And yeah, nothing changed at all on my page.
Okay, I'm still deleting. I'm still highlighting.
I know, but yeah. So
you said all the way to the very, very top.
All the way to the very, very top. We don't need any of that stuff.
None of these colors.
And I don't think we're going to do.
That leaves 244 lines.
Yeah. And we're still going to cut a couple of these out.
Okay.
Cut out starting around 208 where it says dot footer.
208 dot footer P.
Yeah,
Okay.
and everything from the bottom we're going to get out. That's
Oh, we're gonna delete.
Yeah, subscription, or it's a form. We don't even have a form in here. Okay. All right, so I like this. This is good here. So somewhere around 192 here, it says ID content, which is the hashtag. Just gonna put in a comment. And so for CSS, I need to do a slash and the asterisk and close it out with an asterisk and a slash. So this is our content section. This is what was already in the in this file, and then we'll take on for me line one space down, and we'll type in or paste in the stuff for
Cover.
the cover. I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit since it came in kind of weird. All right, so I got some change in there, not a whole lot of change, but a little bit. So let's go back to the sidebar CSS, or not sidebar CSS, cover CSS if I can find it. So I think let's also take this here, this cover.container, which is on 41. And we'll paste that in over there too. I really didn't change up what I wanted to either. That's okay. HTML, inner, okay. Oop, cover CSS, cover HTML. I think what we're gonna need, we're gonna need to have this right here. So line 36 in the HTML file for cover is this class, the cover container and such. So let's go and see what happens. We're gonna go back to sidebar. Oh, not sidebar. We're gonna go to our index file with this. And then somewhere around 66 here, I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to take, actually I'll take all this main, and we're just going to drag it into the link there. Oh, nope. Everything was still highlighted. Oh, I see. Where'd main go? Oh, there it is. Let's hope this doesn't totally mess stuff up. All right, got a little bit better. We're still missing some centering piece. I think somewhere in here there was a, I don't see. So let's go, we'll go back to our index file here. And what we're gonna do is content class. So on this first div right here, on line 65, after the padding top 5-5, which is another Bootstrap class attribute, we're going to take another one in, which is text center. I think. Is that correct? Okay. So we put in that attribute right there, and you see now our stuff went to the center of the page like it was before.
Mm. So let's go over here. We have old Jacks. So let's do something like, hey, I'm right. Hi, I'm Ray. In ours. So we'll take in, we have H1. Okay, so H1, and we can style this to change our sizes. By H1 is header 1, which is the largest header of the 6 headers. Goes from 1 to 6, and typically, so like 99.9% of the time, you only want to have one header 1 on each page. And that's because it comes into your search engine optimization at times, it'll go in looking for the H1s for additional keywords that may be associated with your page. So usually people say, hey, let's make it work well. So, but what we can do too is, let's see if you use each one here. So we'll inspect his element. Class. And so no, he did not. But he did kind of style it a little bit bigger, but without the H1. So it leads me to believe we probably shouldn't style it as H1. So let's look instead at changing that H1 right now to a H1. Let's just change H1 to div. And I'm just going to be interesting to see. Let's go ahead and change it as that. See if what changes on our styling. Okay, so it didn't. The styling for that class attribute was specifically for each one, but that's okay. We'll go back and we'll fix that up. Yeah. So we'll leave it as cover heading right now, and then we'll work from there. So let's do, so Tom, our Jack said something like, I am Jack, comma. I'll save. So we'll have something of that nature, but we know it's going to be smaller right now. All right, and then what we'll do is, instead of the P's here, we'll change those to H2s. We'll leave the same class attributes as lead, because what we'll probably end up doing is using the same styling that's already there for the P's, but what we'll be doing is, instead we'll just be using
the H2. Save. Probably, oh, wrong page to save. Probably make it so we shrunk down a little bit. That's okay. So we know that the class is lead. So I'm going to close out. Let me see. Lead. Oh, we do need, before we close out the cover CSS, let's take this, the button with us over to sidebar CSS. And we can we'll put it right underneath the primary button. I'm not finding where I'm looking for. Flex, channel. I don't see an H2, nor do I see RP. Do you see P anywhere? Displays, padding, transparent, padding, no P tags, no lead. I don't know where he came up with this stuff. All right. Well, let's see what happened to our button. Nothing happened to our button at all. Oh, save all. Encode instead. There you go. Okay. So that went to a white background the way it was supposed to. But we're in a white background to begin with here, which is fine. Okay. And we can actually change if we want, just so we can see our button. Our text is going to be kind of messed up when we do this, but back in the content on 65, after we put the text center, let's just do BG alert. I think alert is red. I'm not gonna know. Okay, let's put this, drag it into the container then and see. Nope. Try BG dark. There we go. Okay. I'm going to take that. I'm going to drag it back down up to the full content. That way we have when it's not just the container. Okay. It doesn't really work well for us right now because of the sidebar, but that's okay. We get kind of what we're looking for, right? What's that?
We can change the color of the sidebar.
Yeah, we can do that. We can.
Or we can put a background to the black that black empty space.
Yeah, but at least now we can see the button. We can see, you know,
the text.
We can at least see what we're working with here.
That gray text.
Yeah. So let's go. Oop, I do not want to drag that off over there. All right, so we're gonna go. I think we can close out cover CSS. And I don't think we're going to use it again, but we won't delete it out off our page right now. So sidebar CSS is the main CSS that we're using right now for the index page. So we'll add a couple things to here to try to style what we're trying to get the style we're looking for, at least on the main content right now. So right now, I know that we have cover container. We use cover in the main. So I think we will be good if we use the dot cover, the class attribute cover in our CSS. So as you see, so our CSS files, we have our regular tags. So our regular tags are like our A tag, our body tag, our button tag. They're just straight out typed out as the words. All right. Now, in this particular case, the image, there's also images, but this is a class, an attribute class image, and there's a period in front of that. So if we have several images or several different parts that are using the same tags that we want to style differently from each other, make them different colors, have text sizes different, have the text different colors or whatever, we can use the class attribute within those HTML tags to modify or to make sure that we can individually style those HTML tags or those HTML components. All right, so we have some dots here. The hashtag one, these are class identifications, and most of the time you're going to see them used within JavaScript. So class attributes can be used but it's not, you can style using class attributes in JS, in JavaScript. But in order for you to actually make something dynamic in HTML, you have to have that identification attribute. And that's what that hashtag does. But because the sidebar is also connected to a JS sheet, which is main.js, they used that identification attribute for styling purposes as well. So that's why you see the hashtag or the number sign, the pound sign sidebar. All right. So what we're going to do down here is we're going to, so this is all our content area. And we're just trying to separate it for our own sanity and for our own sake. All right, so we have cover. So what we're going to do is, we know we have the first one. What do we use for the tag? So we use cover heading. So we use dot cover heading. And why is that? I don't know why it's giving me a bad juju right there. Oh, because there's no rules in there. Yeah, okay. All right, so we're using the class attribute cover heading, and we're going to do a couple of things. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our the text color white. All right, because we have that dark background. So the property is just color, and we're going to use the hex tag, which is FF for short, or you can go full 6 digits for F, and that should style our stuff to white. So I'm just going to save all, come back and see now Leo is in white. All right. So next thing we're going to do is, we know it's small, right? So we're going to go font size. All right. So there's a couple different ways that we can size up our text. The first way, the old school way, is pixels. So as you know, every display screen has a certain amount of pixels that it has per inch. So typically when you're looking at like a paragraph size for fonts, you're looking at like 16 pixels. And I think the default for H2 doubles that up to 32 pixels. All right. We're not going to use pixels today. We're going to use one of the different ones, which is estimated measurement, EMs. So this kind of is supposed to ratio out our font sizes, especially when we get to different size screens. So as you noticed with my screen here, we had a little problem because when we get to a certain width, that sidebar disappears. And that sidebar disappears by design. And it's not going to come up because this button's messed up, because we messed it up when we updated the FontAwesome. So we'll have to fix that. But as you see, everything kind of, the text gets kind of smaller and smaller. And this is basically like your Android size phone. Okay. So what Bootstrap does, and what CSS Flexbox does, is allows us to make these things kind of work on all different screens. All right, we're not using the grid system currently right now in our on this page, but we are on the resume page. So once you get that done, we can, you can kind of get a good grasp of how it moves and how it fluxes around depending on the screen size. Right. So the pixels will always kind of stay that same size, but if we do an EM, it should change size with the surrounding elements. So one EM is 16 pixels. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with 1.5 EM and just look at what the size looks like comparatively with everything else. Right, so it's still kind of small. We want it a little bit bigger than that. So let's double it up. Let's see what 3 looks like. All right, 3 I think looks a little bit better. All right, but I think I'm going to push it up to 3.5. I think, yeah, I think that will work better for us. Let me see if I can get here without all of the Zoom stuff. I think that works a little bit better for us. Now, I'm also going to drive this or style a little bit more. I'm going to add font weight. So what this does is I can either go with specific sizes from 1, which is really thin, to the thinnest to 900, or I can go with a bold or normal or kind of, change up some other stuff in here. So we're just going to go with bold. See what bold looks like. Yeah, that's a little bit too much, I think. So let's try one of the numbers. So let's try 700. Now that's still pretty. Let's drive it all the way down to 4. That's not enough. Let's go to 5. Yeah. Let's just look at 6. I think I'm going to stick with 5. For me, I think that just looks a little bit better at 5. Still stands out. It's there. Okay, so we have the main one here. Let's kind of now look at what we can do for the next one, which I believe had a lead. Yeah, had a lead, class attribute a lead. So we're gonna have to be a little careful here. What I'm gonna do, because we have the button, I'm just gonna change this back because we changed these from P. I'm gonna put this back to P. Just so I don't mess around with the button. I like the button where it's at. Maybe we could probably take it down to 6, but 600 from 700. So we can just do lead. Well, again, I don't know if I want to do full white here. So let's look at, I think 3A. Yeah, 3A. That might be a little bit dark. Oop, no, 2A. That looks even darker. I think that looks more yellow. I don't think that's what I'm going for, but let's see what's. Oh, actually, that's not bad. That's a decent gray to kind of stand out from the back. I think it doesn't overpower or that white. We do we'll do font size. Drive it up to do 2.5 and see how that corresponds with the rest. Okay, I think I can live with that. Of course, we need to change our text up a little bit. As you say, yeah. So let's go back over here. So cover is whatever. So let's say something like, "Hi, I'm Leo. Let me just do this. Okay. And we can do, what's he saying on here? This has. Web is always capitalized. I think full, yeah, back end, front end. Something like that. Maybe even I'm just interested in this. So everything's about art, right, Ray? Let's go back and let's just see what I was.
Sorry, what?
I said everything's about art, right? So I just want to see what it looks
I'm
like.
typing out a little description of my own.
Well, maybe white. I think that works well. Kind of goes off there. All right, so we got learn more. I don't think learn more is what we really want there. So let's like we'll drive them to my offer, and then we'll copy this again, the button, and we'll go to my portfolio. So I have those two buttons now. You know, I'm going to look, let's see if we can't, sidebar CSS. We're in the secondary color, border, background color. I'm going to take, this is the two buttons. The first, I'm just going to change that for none right now. I just want to see what it looks like transparent. Or at least that's the, I think I still have some other attributes somewhere that's changing those colors, but we change that to FF. There we go. Oh, that did not change the way I anticipated it. So I'm going to use an important statement, which is a bang and important. So that should override any other CSS that may be messing with our stuff here. So I'm going to also do that down here at none. There we go. Oh, you know why? I bet it's because we have, oh, there's a background color, but the background color is not, isn't the BG dark. That's why it's different for those. All right, so what we're going to do now is let's take a look at content. I think where content is where we're looking at. I think I can load up the image through here. Let me see. Chat. Where's chat? File. I'm just going to send you a like a generic image of some nice blue bonnets. Everyone likes the blue bonnets, right?
Sure.
Yeah. You know what blue bonnets are, right?
Of course I know what blue bonnets are.
All right, I want to make sure because you're a city dweller.
Yeah, a blue bonnet, you know, it's like those yellow flowers.
Yeah, yellow. All right, so let's use the lake. All right. So that'll upload in a second, and then you can pull that off. So once you download it, go ahead and put it into the assets images folder. where you put the other images. All right, I'm going to close that out for now. All right, so we're going to go in the index file here. I want to change one thing. We put the BG dark into this contents ID right here. I want to take that out. All right. We're going to go into the sidebar here and we have content here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put another property in. We're going to put background image. And it's going to start with the URL. Assets. Images. And that's Bluebonnets Along the Lake. File. I'm going to save all and let's see what happens.
Got it.
Yeah, it's a load like this.
Yep.
Sweet.
Definitely need to change my color though, the text color.
That's fine. But you can use any image you want there too.
Yeah.
So, but that shows you exactly how to do it.
Mm.
And that's just for a background image. So this is in CSS. This is the same way that they did it for this sidebar, except for what they did in the sidebar is they did it inline. So there's 3 different types of CSS you could do. So right here, we have, where was that? Okay, right here. So in line 24 in our index file, we have this tag right here that says style. So this is what they term inline CSS. So under the style tag or style attribute in a HTML tag, you can manually change that tag one way or the other, using any of the CSS properties. And it's just style equals, and then in double quotes, the same thing that you would have in the curly brackets in the array, if you will, of properties.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
So we have it this way. Now, if you go, we're going to open up, I know they did this in cover. I think it's in cover. In cover HTML. So in line 16 here, we have a style tag that ends in line 31. And then we have for these class attributes, and then we have these properties. All right, so this is our second way, and this is just your style sheet embedded into the head tags. So this is up here where the links are and where your meta tags are. It's all within the head, which is here and here. So that's the second way you can do it. And then the third way, of course, is the actual style sheet, which is these days is kind of the preferred method. Because what that does is, if I have, let me open this up again. So if I decide that this is a style that I want on all my sheets, I have to copy and paste this on all my sheets because it doesn't transfer over to any other HTML file. But if I have it in the CSS file, I can link to the file and it can go to all of my HTML sheets. So it's spread out throughout the entire site, vice just one page. All right, so yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to check with you.
Yep.
So the so you talked about like the pound, the hashtags and the dots and stuff. Can you remind me what those are? Because the dots are when you name, when you give a custom, when you make your own class, right? The dots are
Correct.
a custom class
Correct.
name.
So let's go, we'll look at the index tag here. So when we go to slider, so right here in the nav tag on line 19, it says ID equals sidebar. So that identification, that ID attribute is sidebar. So to translate that into speak for both JavaScript and CSS, we put the hashtag in front of it instead of a period.
What's the difference between the ID and just the class?
So the class cannot be manipulated by JavaScript. So if let's go into the main JS file that's in the JS folder.
Okay.
And somewhere in here, let me close this down a little bit. Somewhere in here.
Have a lot of lines.
Yes.
I do not.
Oh, you don't have all these lines in yours?
No, I only have 20.
Oh, do I have the right one? Maybe I don't have the right one.
Or maybe I have downloaded the wrong one.
I don't know. Let me look. One was already in here, so I don't know. No, it goes in my Dreamweaver. I might have taken the wrong one. One was already there, so I just left it there. I thought I had copied it over earlier in the day, but apparently I didn't. Okay, yeah, so that's correct, incorrect. All right, so what you have here, specifically in line 15 and 16, is
collapsed. Oh.
is creating an actual action by the JavaScript.
Okay.
All right, and then what you have up here is just CSS changes based on the class attributes. But actually, so those aren't even our class. Well, yeah, those are class attributes. So to make stuff actually work, we needed to do that. We need the ID.
Okay.
So if we're just messing with CSS, you can use the class attributes.
Okay. And the other one is the @ symbol. Oh, because like.
Okay, so those are that's the media. Let me.
Yeah.
Let me just transfer this over correctly.
Okay. And then just the ones without any, just the straight up words like button and stuff. That's just for every single button that exists.
HTML tag. So that goes for every HTML tag. So that's no classes, no nothing. So if it's just body, you have the body tag right here. So you have to have, so you need 5 tags or 3 tags for your 4 tags. Typically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tags. 5 tags for your page, for your HTML to work. All right. The first tag is this line 1, this doc type HTML. Okay. There is no closing tag for it. It just says that it just tells the browser that this is an HTML file. Okay. Now there are different types of markup languages that your browser can read, like XSML and stuff like that. So we're just, right now we're just telling it this is HTML. Okay. The second tag, the HTML tag, and it has a language attribute of English. This is the new way to do stuff because everyone else wants to start doing their stuff in their own language. So we're going to make sure that it knows that this is in English. All right, and there is a closing tag, and that should be the last tag in your file. Then we have the head tag, which is all of the, this is all the information that the browser uses to make your page run correctly. All right. In this case, there's one required tag, and that's the title tag that goes with inside the head. And you always have to have a title tag. And then the fifth and final one is our body tag. So our body tag is what's translated by the browser to be depicted within the browser. So everything that you want to have on the screen has to be in the body tag. So if you remember earlier in the day, we pulled up the resume page, and there was nothing on it.
Yeah.
Now there was stuff in the body, but it was all empty.
Yeah.
Div tags and other HTML tags. There was no actual content in there. But as soon as you put content, it showed. So you can actually have a blank web page and not have any, not actually see anything on there, but plain old white. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to this up. I'm going to go over to the GitHub repository for ACM, which is GitHub /TAMUSA-ACM, if you can't see it. And we're going to go into last week's exercises. So the Bootstrap 4 and JavaScript. And that scroll down to right after the layout grid there. And this is what we're going to talk about with the @ symbols. So typically speaking, the @ symbols, when we looked at them in the CSS. So let me go back to the CSS file. You didn't find them all over the place, but you found them in a couple spots. Wrap, okay. So @ media. So this right here, oops, is telling us that we want to, under the size of 992 pixels, we want to collapse the sidebar. Okay, and we're doing that with a combination of both the CSS, but we're also using JavaScript because on our page we have the button that's not working right now. So when we get small and we get below that 992 width and it collapses, when we press this button, JavaScript is supposed to open that back up for us. But it's not working right now, so we have to fix that. Right? So on this page, and if you delve into the Bootstrap CSS file, which is you can download from the homepage, but right now we only have the CDN, the content distribution network link on there. But in there it'll say that at media 1200 pixels, anything below there, certain things are going to happen to the components. So we're going to change font size probably. We're probably going to change the way that some of the columns in our grid work. So stuff will get smaller to meet the smaller screen sizes. And depending on how our columns work, right now we have 12 across. At large, what we might have is 6 across with a second row of 6 below it. It just depends how we want it to, how stuff is supposed to happen at each of these breakpoints. So if we go, I think in the examples in the Bootstrap page, I think when we shrink, some of these are supposed to restack themselves, but maybe they're not going to this way. Small 8, small 4. And yeah, you can see how in the mix and match, it's kind of lowering down when I do it, but was that the one? Or was that one below it or above it? Oh, small 8, small 4. Yeah. See how they stack on top of each other when they get too small?
Yeah.
And that's based on the breakpoint. So that's going to be the small breakpoint, which in this case is that on this page or the overview. So at anything smaller than 576, or yeah, smaller than 576 pixels, it's going to break that way. So let's find a we have some larges. Oh, no, let's see. Column 4, small, medium, call 6. Let's see what happens on this one. So a medium, we should start to see a break somewhere. All right, there it is. So that's wider than the other one. So this is at below medium. This is what happens. We get above, go below, above, below, above, below. I don't know why it keeps jumping up and down like that. But, so that's what the at medias does. And so typically speaking, now you can do this for, however you want to do it. But a lot of people will just follow the Bootstrap on their own custom one, just because when Bootstrap breaks at those breakpoints, they don't want to, they want to kind of break their own CSS with it. All right. Now, as if you see, like a container. So a container is the largest size of the grid. So it goes container, and then in container is a row, and then inside the rows are columns, right? You can have rows and containers by themselves, but you have to have columns within a row. The row doesn't have to be in a container, but the columns have to be in a row for everything to work correctly. So there's 2 types of containers that Bootstrap has. It has a regular container and then what they call a container fluid. So the container at these certain breakpoints are only ever going to be this wide. So if my screen, even if I have like a 5K screen, when I see a container, it's only ever going to get 1140 pixels wide. It can't go any higher than that. But if I do a Bootstrap or a container fluid, which then has what is set for is view width of 100%, it'll go across the entire page. So again, those are kind of styling things that you can kind of use to change stuff up here and there. Like for example, I think in our pages here, I saw black, and so on our pages here, we have down below, we have a container. Well, it's at least a cover container, and it's probably using the same type category here. But if we go over to our resume page, I think we're using container fluid for everything in the for the background. So it will go across the entire page. And then we're using one for the back end there. So if I go and, since yours isn't done, I'll bring mine up. Oh, that's the wrong window. So where am I here? Resume. So if I bring that up, so I have, this is full across, my entire background's full across. So hopefully when I shrink down, my grid will shrink down, and at some point it'll start stacking on top of each other. So this isn't probably what we should probably do is when we get to the size is probably change, when we get to this is probably our medium, is change this column from a column of whatever to and tag it with medium to meet the same size as these, so that they all stack, together more and become more pretty. I think, and even here it's still a little bit wider than the. So that's kind of how the media breakpoints work. Any other questions in the CSS?
I do not think so.
Okay.
Although I do know I have to make sure I watch that video tomorrow. Your first workshop.
Yeah, a couple days.
I definitely want to do that. I will definitely want to work on that whole change size.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to stop recording here. Well, a little bit over anyway. So.